Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War 3. We have a battle ahead of us. We've got this army that's moving towards Bavaria that I'll have to crush if I want Bavaria to still be part here, because the Bavarians, they've lost more or less every fight they've been in, as I've seen, so we're gonna have to help them out. What I'm going to do is we're gonna move Marshal Ney first, because he's gonna be the support army to Napoleon, so he's gonna move first. Come up as support for Napoleon. Then we're gonna have Murat as the second support. No, we're actually gonna have Davos as the second one to come up. So Davos will come in here, and then Napoleon will switch place with Lanes. So Lanes will defend the town, and will go ahead and attack the Austrian, or Napoleon will go ahead and attack the Austrian army. I sort of feel, did I set the music level right? I'm not entirely sure, because I think it sounds like it's a bit loud. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly just lower it just a tad. It might be that I'm just hearing it this way, and it's perfectly fine on your end, but I think it might be a bit too loud. So let's go ahead and change that. Oh, so there I've changed it. It should hopefully be better now. Let's go ahead and have Napoleon attack, and then at the same time we've got Lanes moving in to protect Prague. So this will be quite a large battle, and I'm expecting the Austrians probably to go ahead and attack us after this one, since it might be a very bloody battle. Let's make sure that Napoleon gets his support. Yes, he gets all three his generals coming in. So we got 5,000 men against the Austrians 4,000, but we'll start off with 2,000 men. So the Austrians will outnumber us 2-1. We'll see how this goes. I'll go ahead and autosave just in case this crash. And let's start it. So I've been getting some comments about the way I conduct my battles, which not everyone is super pleased about. And they've got a point. They got a point. At first, usually, I am very defensive when I get criticism. But yes, there is points where I could have done better, and a little bit is that I give the enemy quite a bit of leeway in fighting the battle, because I think they are just performing too bad. But as I've realized, as I've researched a bit about the mod, trying to figure out how the columns work, usually the enemy in your campaigns will perform quite bad in the start, and then as they sort of get better troops and so on, they will do a lot better. So we're gonna face, probably by this turn, I think it said 6 or 7 turns in, that it will improve the enemy's ability to fight you. So just around this battle, we should see an improvement of the enemy. I'm gonna have the old guard in reserve. I should really probably deploy them, but I sort of like the idea of having them in reserve, just like Napoleon did, in sort of a role-play way. Might not be the best case. The best case would obviously to push them in. But in this case, we're trying to wait for allied reinforcements to come in, so we equalize the numbers here. So I think it's better. And we'll see about how this goes. Now, one of the other complaints were about how I drew my lines, which I'm not entirely sure what he meant when he said that, because he didn't point out a specific point in the video he was commenting about, where I sort of neglected to draw the line properly. And it's quite easy to do on YouTube to set that up. So as a thing in for future reference, that would be advisable to set up. We got a lot of cavalry. We got, as our reinforcements, we got 3 generals, 3 cavalry units, and a cannon. So I probably would have preferred if we had got more infantry. We did get another cannon though, which is going to be useful. We've got a bit of a ridge here, which I'm trying to set up my men on. What I read also was that the enemy takes quite a while to actually form his army up properly, so it might take a while. We might give him some time to set up his army. I'm gonna bombard that little outhouse, since we're out of range of actually firing upon the enemy. And I'm gonna speed up the time a bit. Worked wonders for the FPS there. I think I might be hitting the enemy through this. Possibly. The enemy is being strange and forming up in a weird way. To protect my cannon, I'm gonna go ahead and set spikes here, possibly. Or maybe I should actually have these guys follow the line and have them set up spikes closer up, where we actually have a chance of impaling some enemies upon them. Let's move up the old guard a bit, just so they are ready if the enemy comes up. And we'll have Ney follow the line. And what we're waiting for is really the horse-drawn artillery to come up to this spot to aid in our attack on them. I think we can gain a bit more ground here. And then have the sappers coming up through here. Oh, there's actually artillery fire going down there, so let's have them move behind the line over here. They're sending 1 light horse unit out to fight us. Not sure how clever that is. We got a forest there, so it's not a great spot for the artillery. So probably want to set it on this side of the hill. We're gonna get them over there. And maybe have one of these cavalry units. Let's have the stronger one, the Carabiniers, to do a powerful charge if necessary. To have them come up next to the line on the right. I've continuously fired on this house, but it seems to no avail. Let's go ahead and hold fire, open fire again, and now you can go ahead and target this unit, which is inching its way forward towards our lines. Probably could advance a little bit more, because we want to sort of, if I advance my men a bit more forwards, these guys can sort of sit underneath the lines as they open fire, so we'll minimize the risk of friendly fire. Okay, here comes the cavalry. The lines are about ready. Let's go ahead and have these move away. Move back through the safety of our lines. And let's stop the cannon from actually going through. The enemy cavalry won't be able to break through our lines. It's light cavalry. And they're quite weak chargers here. And we are able to fire at the same time as they're charging, so this line even moved a bit forwards to break the enemy charge. Silly Austrians sending their cavalry first. But they will be back. And now we actually got a line infantry line moving up on us. Let's set the cannons on the hill. And maybe have the skirmisher unit go out here. And then, as a precaution, we'll have the spikes behind them. So if the cavalry comes towards them, they can retreat behind it. And at the same time, we'll move the line. We'll split the line a bit. So the cannons, we can come in between the cannon, or the cannon can be in between the lines. The cavalry here sounds like they were on their... They were sort of charging-ish. Switch to canister. We've got a lot of enemy cavalry. The carbineers are ready. Maybe we'll go ahead and push them in. Or maybe my infantry will be enough in this fight. Let's go ahead and get sappers ready to deploy their spikes. Push canister into them, sir! Oh, we got some heavier cavalry regiments turning up now. So it's not hussars anymore. And there's a little bit of a trickle of enemy infantry turning up to the fight. That's a problem. They managed to send off the carriages, so now I can't move this cannon anymore. I can, however, reman it. Carbineers have moved up and are ready to lay into the flank of the enemy. The spikes have been deployed on our flank, and these guys are retreating. And these will go ahead and go. Damn it, they've gone for my cannons again. I want the sappers behind the cannons. They ride onto our spikes and lose tons of men. They push the cannons around us, they charge them. Okay, I want the men to move back a bit. And I want the carbineers to move back a bit as this line infantry unit creeps forward towards us. And this one parades in front of our men getting slaughtered. I'm not so sure about this cannon position. It seems that they are firing into the back. Yes, into the back of my own men. So we should see about redeploying and abandoning this position and having these move out towards the left. Let's have the skirmishers go ahead and gain ground again up to the flank. Let's have you fire canister. And let's see how this fight is going to go. We're going to turn this unit a bit to get everyone firing upon the enemy. Not entirely sure why the Austrians haven't sent up their entire force yet. Let's go ahead and have these speed up a bit to be able to fire on the Hungarian infantry, which is now moving up. The enemy is focusing a lot of men over on the left rather than on the right. So the old guard will move over there, and now the cannons are ready, they will move over there. And the horse guard will move up to gain ground over there. And Napoleon and his Mamelukes will gain ground towards the center. And then we have these contingents of cavalry to move up through to the flank over there. And then we have Davo and Murat Murat is gonna go ahead and join the cavalry, and then Davo is gonna go ahead and join back here somewhere. And now these guys will move up. Quite a lot of men in this unit, 300 men. Yeah, you can see them they're fanning out a lot on my left, possibly realizing that that is a lot weaker than my right. This unit is on its own. The enemy has sort of left it there. So let's see if we can have our Carabinieri regiment go ahead and charge them. Seems like they have realized that my soldiers are on the way, and they're facing them now, which is not going to be good if I'm going to go ahead and do a charge. So we're going to move them off. But as they move now into flank, let's move them a bit quicker to get away from the fire. They lost 10 men there. But as they do this, they get all the fire reported into their flank. And they're losing morale. Plus the canister is still going at them. The guard cannons are ready. And they... oh, that's the Mamelukes I've selected. These cannons will set up over there. And then we'll have the 2 guard infantries set up next to them, with the Mamelukes in the back. Napoleon next to them. They're continuously... oh, look at that. The enemy general. But it's not him I'm going to charge. It is this regiment. Although it looks like the general was caught in the charge. Since the enemy is in line, it might be hard for my cavalry to break them. So I'll charge in my infantry as well to sandwich the unit and make sure that they are broken. Because otherwise, I fear that my cavalry regiment probably would have been smashed if they had charged on their own. And now the Austrian grenadiers are completely sandwiched and massacred. And then they are gone. And the question is if you can... your canister doesn't really reach that well. So if we guys move back a bit, don't fire canister there anymore. Fire canister down towards this tree. And then these 2 units will now march along here to lay fire into the flank. Although they have to lay it across a wall. Carabiniers will gain ground over here. And these 3 units will continue and take the ground over here. Guard cannons are ready to open fire upon the enemy line, which looks to be actually forming into somewhat of a line. They had a special battalion, which was a Croatian Grenze battalion, I think. It was a light infantry one. That had a special face guy on top of it. This one, it must have been. Yes. Croatian Grenzinfanterie. So I'm guessing the... well, they look like light infantry. And I'm guessing Croatian means Croatian. This unit being outgunned here on its own is not doing well. They're about to break as well. Would need a light cavalry unit, a small one, to come in and chase them away afterwards. So let's have these hussars gain ground towards there. Sorry about that. And draw the lines out. Chevalier O'Reilly coming through here. I have a lot of cavalry support with superiority though. Enemy has formed a square over here, a complete square. And it looks like they're actually marching now. They're marching Grenzer troops up to attack my grenadiers. We're gonna pull them back a bit. And then when's the enemy? I'm gonna need more units on my left, since the enemy is now continue moving in for their attack. Where do we have those hussars? Hussars, gonna charge over here. And then let's see if we can have a charge going down here and deal with all of these cavalry units. And then we need to move our men as quickly as possible over here. And you will switch to canister. Do I have a... I don't have a general over here. Napoleon's over here. Davos will then move over to stand behind the guard. The Grenzers have superior range, so when I moved back they came closer. I can now move up, move into range, and we can have canister and the old guard fire down upon them. But they're taking murderous fire right now, but it is light infantry that cannot form square. We are sending off the enemy. You guys will fire round shot, and then you two will move up closer here as my cavalry keeps moving along. We're about though to get overstretched. Murat needs to come in and support over here. Carbineers, I need you over there to support. The hussars and the... No, this is the Carbineers. They are continuing here, so we'll continue a bit since we are gaining ground here. But soon I'll have to call off that attack. The old guard lost a lot. I think the cavalry might have scared away the Grenzer battalions. Can I gain maybe ground all the way up to the wall? At this point, our cavalry is just gaining massive amounts of ground here. But they're about to give way, I think. Unless we can focus on these guys. The Grenzer infantry. And now when Murat is coming in to aid them, and then we got hopefully the infantry to come in to aid on the strong enemy units that are coming up there. We are holding on. Go ahead and rally the men. Rally the cavalry. I want to break this one as well, the other light foot unit. And now these guys are marching straight into the old guard, which is now going to be supported by... Oh, this one's very depleted, but they'll move into this flank. Now I actually would need another unit over here. We're breaking a lot of these, but I think it's time to move the cavalry away from here, as the infantry is now coming up to take over. So we're gonna get the cavalry out of there and regroup them. These guys getting hard fire into the flank by the Grenzer units, but the Grenzer in the same time is getting fired upon by our men, and they're broken. Where do I have my Mamluks? Mamluks. Charge through there, canister and all kinds of crap. It's only a squadron, let's keep them. Let's keep them there. Two old guard units holding well. You know what? You will take this spot, and then you will move into the flank there, and then you will move further on the flank. The cavalry units will now regroup along here, and we'll try to get back in order as Murat is stationed in between here, hopefully supporting the cavalry as well as the two infantry units which are stationed over here. See if we can push all the way up to the wall maybe with this unit. And this one will gain a bit of ground just so they're able to let the cavalry through. Napoleon can come a bit closer. The Mamluks behind. This needs to be destroyed so I can move these men up and we can destroy the center of the enemy force. I want to push the enemy away from here so I can deploy along the wall here as well. Oh, they're coming in for a charge and I just... Can I stop this order? I'm just gonna hold like this until these guys have failed their attack, which they undoubtedly will. Yeah, they're starting to break apart. Getting strangled and all kinds of nasties as our men continue to fire as the enemy charge in. The enemy unit should give way pretty darn soon, I'm hoping. Same time these guys are losing men. Canister and all kinds of nasty going down on them. Right now, move to the wall. Quickly. Very tired, very tired, very tired, and very tired. But the enemy has given up a load of ground as they move through here. And we've got militia and light infantry unit and weaker units. So let's have our cavalry move along here to see if we can force something going there. Oh, that's not gonna work for me. That was a heavy charge of the enemy, and that Murat, you're gonna be close. Support them. It's an even fight here. If we can hold and the enemy can rout. Oh, that killed a lot of the 14 Bardishan regiment. But there's nothing left on this side. Just send everything in now. We got Hungarian Grenadiers, not what I want to charge. We got mass rout on this side. And Murat is gonna oversee this as our cavalry and the 14th make their way through this.
Our men are running, sir.
The 14th had enough. I can't blame them. They don't want to continue. There's so many Austrians here. They're routing. It's down to the cavalry to see these men off. And they're very tired, but they've got Murat close by, and hopefully that will be enough to keep their spirits up. Not sure how useful this cannon is anymore. These guys are moving very close. They're chasing these guys down. I could charge these into the flank as the cavalry comes second. Yeah, the cavalry here is just going straight through everything. Let's have Murat join the fight. The 14th will be back. Look at all that crap that's going down over there. Right, let's go ahead and get these stuck in to the Grenadiers and then have these come from the front. So these now trying to regroup as they're being assaulted from the side. And the cavalry comes to break them from the front. Everything's falling apart over here. Come on, Murat. Go back to your troops. Have all of this go through. Right, these guys are leaving. Charge them, bayonets. Old guard, bayonets. Bayonets, bayonets. In the face of an old guard charge, the enemy breaks and retreats. One cavalry unit was unfortunately broken over there. Let's see if we can rally them. As Murat and all of his cavalry is marching through all the Austrians. Right. Hold fire cannons as we're just smashing everything. Go for that unit. And these guys will continue over here. And everything's smashed everywhere. All the enemy units are being smashed. Bear mission veteran fusiliers. Last one to stand in the middle of the battlefield. These guys just catching up to these. Same as the 14th will be pushed into aid over there. And the Grenadier Cheval will go ahead and take down this company of Grenzers. And then it will be all over, and we will have won a glorious victory against the full stack Austrian army. The old guard going through the lines of the enemy. And the Grenzer company cannot hope to stand against this much too powerful cavalry unit. And the battle is won. Perfect timing of the music there. So many men dead everywhere. It started off quite rough for the Austrians, but they managed sort of ish to turn it around. This charge was one of the high points of their attack when they pushed that regiment straight into the 14th, and we just suffered massive casualty there in the bayonet charge. Luckily though, Murat was close at hand, and his morale support made it so that the 14th were able to hold their position. And then mass cavalry charges went through and mopped everything up. But we probably lost a lot of men, of quite a few units. This one lost half its men. Old guards lost quite a few as well, but not as many as you might have thought. Anyways, let's go ahead and end here and see. Let's go ahead and save this so I can do a screenshot of it. And let's see what kind of assault we have. I wasn't outflanked, so clearly I drew my lines properly. I probably should have. I should have probably acted a bit quicker as the enemy was pushing my left. But they never managed to outflank us on the left, because as I pushed my right up, they refocused their men. So we lost 600 men out of 5,000 men. So roughly, what is that? That's like, is it 10% of our force? Ish. 10-11%. While the enemy lost everything. Let's see who the highest killers were. 1st Regiment Chasseurs à Cheval killed 500 men. Then there we got the Bavarian Line Infantry, the 14th, managed to kill 104 people. So the Bavarian Line Infantry, really good guys. Veteran Line, those guys didn't lose a lot, but they managed to kill a lot. So I think they charged in a flank or something. Then it's a lot of cavalry. Murat himself killed 70 men, but there was men running away, so not maybe that impressive. A lot of units here that I actually didn't use. As you can see here, like the... you know what? These are reinforcement units that never turned up, so that's why there's no casualties or anything for them. Sappers were they managed to kill 1 person and they lost 12 men. But there we have that. We have another great battle in Bavaria that is marked by one of these. Battle of the Mines, or Rauris Mines, the gold mines. Let's make sure that our generals are over the side here to be resupplied. With this great victory, I can now push on towards the Austrian capital. Let's make sure that we go on men. We're gonna have the weaker units stationed so that if the army from Austria from the capital comes out, they will march into the stronger units rather than, say, cavalry, which was in the back. Given the fact that they might attack when I end the turn, I'm not entirely sure, but battles take a long time, so I think I'm gonna end the video here, and then hopefully for the next one we should be strong enough to attack Vienna and just push all our army groups there. I think, can this one march? How far can you march? No, you don't have the... no, you can't march that far, unfortunately. But otherwise I would have taken Messina with me as well. But everything on Austria will break them and force them to surrender, giving us 10,000 gold, which will be a lot of money that we can spend around. And then we'll see who else will suffer the aggression of Napoleon. Well, in this case, the coalition, the aggression of Napoleon. That's a bit wrong, because Napoleon declared, I believe he declared 2 wars, and then he had 7 coalitions against him. So he had 7 wars declared against him, and he himself declared 2 wars. Napoleon didn't declare as many wars, or wasn't maybe as aggressive as one might thought, but maybe his there could be other ways to have dealt with the situation, but who knows. The enemy of France did not like the fact of his revolutionary ideas, so peace with the French would have been very unlikely. I think that they would allow this to continue, so the kings of Europe had to stop the French. Anyways, let's go ahead and end it right here. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.